Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. Baby dolls, Ethereum continuing its strength. What did all the US government people say about stablecoins? Is the Sol ETH ratio holding up? Is Michael Saylor going to buy more Bitcoin? And what's going on with that Altseason Index? All of that coming your way and more. We have BTC receiving the green emoji, $118,000. Not moving up too much, but moving up slightly. It's all about meth. Now, stock up on meth. First, I'm going to show you, just to confirm that Bitcoin is still in a green monthly uptrend. The friendship is still here. 1, 2, 3, 4 green monthly candles in a row. Just a friendly reminder, once you hit 6, that's when it becomes danger. Now, I want to tell you as well, last year, we went the full 7. And then it was all over. Okay, so it really does. It does matter how many in a row you get. Okay, we've had 4 in a row. I don't know if Bitcoin is literally, it is possible, friends, as well. Bitcoin finishes, green for, next month as well, August, and that'll make it number 5. And then what happens, I don't know, imagine September surprises us and it just keeps going and going. You don't know, right? These things, they're very interesting, how they all play out. Now, I want to show you something which happened in 2017 when Trump was president, all right? I think, we're going to check now, I think Bitcoin finished red for the month and Ethereum finished green. Okay, check it out. This is 2017. See Bitcoin breaking the all-time high of $1,000. Bitcoin has a red candle in March. Okay, and then after that, it does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green in a row. Okay, it does 5 green in a row, but it had a red here. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to go through and show you Ethereum back in 2017, and we've got it right here. Check this out, friends. This is wild, okay? Ethereum in 2017, it's actually crazy, okay? Remember the March I showed you with Bitcoin? Ethereum was green. So Ethereum had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green in a row. Interesting. Okay, so Ethereum was in a super parabolic pump. Now, remember, it was Ethereum's third cycle. No one could really understand what's going on. We didn't either, right? You didn't know it was going to continue to take on the world, right? But that's something we've seen in the past, where Bitcoin can finish down and Ethereum can finish up. And what's actually funny, okay, friends, if you check it out, I have this chart here. So Bitcoin had a red January, right? It was doji red, and it had a red March. But Ethereum just had 6 green in a row. Now, this is actually what's cool that happened as well. When we went to July 2017, Ethereum retraced down, but Bitcoin went up. As you can see here, look at this. Bitcoin went up July 2017, and then actually had a green August as well. So this is what you get to see, right? In a bull market, you know how crypto altcoins, everything's correlated 98%? Yeah. In the tippity top, the end of the Altseason mania, you never know it's the end. It's just you feel like things are getting started. But in the end, the correlation disconnects because things are blowing up to the upside. Yeah, because people are coming in, they're hitting market, they don't care about fair value stuff, they don't know how to value anything. Okay, so maybe we see something like that happen to us. But, nothing is set in stone. I'm just showing you that, we're waiting for this moment where the big correlation disconnect. That's what we're waiting for. The ETH-BTC chart here is at 0.031. It is still very, very, very low. I mean, this is the tiniest, friends. There's nothing really to celebrate here. I mean, it's good. It's up, back to 0.031. This is horrific, okay? Up here's a flipping ink. And, to me, friends, I'm not even joking, man. You were here on the Ethereum spot ETF. You were 0.055. You were in the last bear market. You were still 0.075. You had the merge stuff up here, okay? So as far as I'm concerned, if you're below this zone, you're literally rubbish. Absolutely trash. So it's got a long way to go. Maybe Tom Lee and all these other news that is going to come out, maybe it's going to help it. But it's all for the narrative. It's all for Ghazi, right? We already know what you're waiting for. It was the most hated asset. It was the most cucked asset. People are coming out and now saying they believe the whole time, which is just a bunch of bullshit, friends. They're all... Look... There's some guys, I'm not going to call any names or anything. So forget about the names, okay? They're YouTubers I watch. They're just... I don't know how, man, but it's funny. They're just growing so many people watching them, and they've just been totally wrong. Totally wrong. But just because they're pushing Bitcoin maxi narrative stuff. which I get it, because it makes sense, right? A lot of people, they flock to that. They say, oh, you've told me this thing has been going up for 2 years and it's going to keep going up, and they're starting to get embarrassed right now. It's kind of funny. All of them were bearish on Ethereum here at below 1400 and actually all the way down here. So friends, I've been telling you, it's the most hated and contrarian cucked asset out here, man, since February. It's literally been 6 months. Can you imagine? For 180 days, I've been saying it's contrarian, it's undervalued, and it kept going down and down and down. Doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter. It keeps going down. What are you, little cuck? You're not meant to do it on leverage, So what ends up happening now is after these 180 days, people now finally have a bit of testicular strength to come out and say, Ethereum is overhated and under-owned. I mean, this is gold. I was just like, bro, where you been? What do you mean Ethereum? After it literally goes up only for 103 days. After Tom Lee and all the funds say, you know what, we actually like Ethereum. Ah, man, it's kind of funny, friends. It's kind of funny. So, hopefully you just learn that it's amazing how markets and crowds never actually change. All right, everyone's actually scared. Everyone's scared to go against the crowd. Everyone, doesn't matter how much money they have. Doesn't matter when it comes to that. Also got an interesting comment here, Mr. pDAI Evolved. Let's see how you do calling the top of pDAI. Just to let you know, friends, everyone has to make a decision for themselves. All right, it has to make a decision for themselves. I'm not going to be held responsible for shit. And just a reminder, if pDAI goes to 3 cents, you are 111x up on your money. If pDAI goes to 3 cents, okay? So you can do whatever you want after that point. I don't know what happens after that point. I'm just letting you know, so I'm not going to be held responsible. So I'm not going to even be momentarily pushed into like, oh no, but you didn't do this. Or I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro. Literally, you get a if pDAI gets to 3 cents, you are up 110 times your money price appreciation for buying a gravestone emoji when everyone said it was dead. So we'll see. Let's crack on with some kindness and friendship, because the Bitcoin dominance is really red now. See that? Bitcoin dominance flipped red. This is the red weekly super trend. Man, we got a long, bro. Do you understand how long we have to go? We have Crapto. Chris, shout out to Chris, but I gotta call you Crapto because you just, Chris, friends, they know. You guys know it's 1% win rate. You know it is. Well, you think oh no, I solved money supply, inflation. I know about the deep state. I know how money really works. I know about the Rothschild family. I know about the Gilded ones. I know about all these bloodlines and everything. I know about all the money supply and all and debasement and taxing. I know about all of that, but oh golly gee. Is the thing that I've been pushing, which I get paid for, is that only a 1% win rate for all my customers and 99 out of 100 people lose? Oh, jeez, I didn't know that. That's the first time I've come across this information. It's kind of funny. All of them bullish on Bitcoin dominance, bullish at the top. Remember, friends, look at this article that I screenshotted here for you. It came up on Twitter. I'm like, you know what, man, this is just embarrassing at this point, all right? In loving memory of Altseason. Altseason is dead. Why Bitcoin treasury stocks are the new altcoins. It's kind of funny. Bitcoin dominance is 70%. Ethereum, you will all go home. Man, it is funny to see. That's funny. So, friends, why I track this, by the way, is what will happen is people who believe, you and me, we start making money. But there are people sidelined. So there are people who used to be with us, but then they actually left. They sold and they actually left. Okay, they went and followed the cucks. Now, when they realize that we have had an enormous price thrust, capital price appreciation, and we are getting paid a lot for believing in something, once it finally hits them and everyone around's getting paid for believing something, they will come out with fangs and they're going to go and publicly, violently attack all the people they listen to. Every single one of these Bitcoin maxis, all these copers out here, all of them. Okay, so I want to track that. I want to track when the crowd wants to publicly crucify these scum who tell you to buy low, sell high, but when it comes to Bitcoin dominance, keep buying something high after it's run up for 4 years. So they literally just break their own rules, right? Because they're biased. That's why markets, right? Markets are amazing, friends. Doesn't matter how smart people are, their emotions override. I wonder if that'll help with a signal of catching the Bitcoin dominance bottom. Okay, I want to see them capitulate. I want to see any of these names. Okay, the biggest YouTubers in crypto. I want to see them publicly apologize, for example. I want to see them, first they'll say nothing, and they'll be like, oh, no, it's still good, it's still good. So I want them to be like, Homer Simpson with the flying pig. You know what I mean? Oh, no, it's still good, everything's still good. No, it's still good, it's still good. And then I want to see the kill shot candle come out somewhere. I want to see them get a kill shot coin. And they will. Just because they're smart doesn't mean they know how to override their emotions when it comes to these events. They have a full identity about being a Bitcoin maxi. I mean, they get invited to the Bitcoin conferences, right? They're going to be thinking about the Bitcoin conferences and all the people they met and Sam Chow Bao, whatever that dude's name is, and Powell, the Tether CEO, going, I love the Bitcoin, I hated the crypto. They're going to come on, listen, all these things are going to be playing in the back of their head. They're not going to capitulate for a bunch of people on the internet. They're not going to do that. So we're going to be watching that, right? And it might just hit a point where, look, I want to see the capitulation essay. And that's when we'll know, hey, we're near. So we're waiting for that moment. It'll be wonderful, So I want to use it from a signal perspective. We don't really care about these people, right? That's what we're here for. I mean, like, just to give you an example, Ethereum went so bad against Soylana, it went into the point where Vitalik has to come out, panic, and capitulate. Yeah, big time. I've also, friends, I want to share with you some inside information. I've found out, I've heard around, and I've seen. Okay. Different Ethereum projects are getting contacted by Ethereum devs, people in Ethereum, and they're privately messaging them saying, hey, how can we help and support you more? So they've been doing that anonymously. They see that, just don't do it out in the public, friends. That's how they work. I told you, man. I told you. Why did I know this? It's because, friends, I know what Vitalik is like. He's an alien. Aliens see me and you as monkey retardios, right? Which we are. I mean, I pick my own nipples on the internet, right? So he sees us like children because he's 4,000 IQ and I'm about 60, okay? If I'm lucky. I'm negative IQ most days. So when he sees us and we're yelling and we're like, when he sees us and he doesn't want to respond to our anger because he sees us like monkeys. Because he thinks in his mind, if he responds to us, we think to talk to him, we just keep yelling like cavemen, okay? So what they do is they say nothing and they go, everything's fine. And then 4 weeks later, after everybody's calmed down, 2 to 4 weeks later, then they start with the pivots. Do you get it? After everyone is calmed down. It's like a child having a tantrum, okay? So that's pretty much what's been happening. And look, that's what's been happening right now. You've been seeing it. Interesting as well, I want to show you the daily super trend for BTC. While Ethereum is cranking up, this thing's just going sideways. Pretty good. So literally everything's lining up. Now, where is Bitcoin going for this part, friends? I still hope that we get to this next big fib, right? $156,000. Remember, it is still in a nice uptrend, but of course the show stealer is Meth. Let's go check out Meth. Here is Methereum. This is the CME chart though. It's 3557, and right now it's trading at 3726. So it's trading up here. So it's actually still green, which I come out and show you. So if I show you just the Ethereum price, 3726, it's up here. So there is a bit of a gap as well. So there's a gap here, there's a gap there. I wonder if this one's ever going to fill. Man, you never know if that fills up in 2 years or something. We'll see. But for now, we just continue to hold. It's kind of funny, fans. If you look at Ethereum's price chart, it looks so manipulated, man. Like, I'm just looking at this. If you're looking at this, what is this, dude? What the hell is that? Look at this. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red monthly candles in a row, boom, and then just straight up. Something looks really dodgy, man. Really, really dodgy about that chart. But that's markets. It's full of manipulators. Everything's manipulated. There's a big player, and it makes a lot of sense now. Look at all these banks and funds who are now suddenly saying, you know what? We actually like Ethereum now. So it's suspicious. Now, a lot of people probably are still curious. When's the cycle going to be over? When do we take profit? One, of course, tell you no one knows, number one. But number two, I've got nothing to worry about. OTHERS-BTC is still in its first green monthly candle here, okay? When do you get worried? Well, in the past, you should get worried when it hits number 5. Okay, so there's 3 occasions, yeah? 2 out of 3 occasions, it went the full 6 in a row to make the top. In one occasion, it only went 5. Obviously, that was our scam 2021 Joe Biden cycle. All right. But if you're going to repeat, I guess, this is interesting, yeah? If we repeat what 2017 did, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green in a row. Then we go sideways. Remember, this is OTHERS-BTC. So we go sideways and Bitcoin is like rallying up. And then there's a final blow-off finisher. 1, 2, 3. Look at this. It finished green in November, right? This was just basically a retracement. And then December was basically the rocket one. And then here you have the big one in January. And it's pretty much all over. Something I want to tell you as well, friends, be careful because, you know, this OTHERS-BTC, oh my gosh, it's down 50% here. See this? It's down 50%. But by March 2018, Cardano, Tron, everything was down 90% in literally just 60 days because they all went up, they flashed up 100x. Okay, so it doesn't mean like just because the chart, this is something you gotta know, right? Just because the chart takes a long while to like make the bear market floor doesn't mean you're safe here. You're not actually safe here, right? You actually have to be, yeah, that's it. You have to be selling into literally straight green candles. That's the only way to make it. And then it's tough because I mean, like, look at this, man. Look what happened to Bitcoin, friends. If you sold Bitcoin, if you were selling during this is 5 green candles. If you started selling here, you're selling at 45, 50, 55. 60, and then look, it still pops up to 73. And it even comes back and it sits there for multiple months. Right? So, but what I'm telling you is you have to be comfortable with the fact that you're not going to top tick anything. And you're going to have to DCA out. Take care of your G stack first. That's what you have to do. You can't think about top ticking anything. You got to think about where you were 4 years ago, where you were at the bottom of the bear market. That's what you do. Now, friends, I've got some cracker news here for you. So, because of Ethereum coming back here, the Richard Hart's PulseChain Sacrifice Treasury is finally back to break even. As Ethereum comes back to around 3,800, there is 166,000 meth in the treasury, and nobody knows what it would be used for. So, it's good to see that the treasury is now, I guess, back to break even. The PulseChain SAC price is still 68% below SAC price. It's still really, really, really low. Yeah, it's still a long way to go. Look, friends, by the way, I'm just having, this is my, like, scratch it on paper, pencil note sketch. What I'm just going to guess is we're going to do. What I'm going to guess, okay? What you can do is now, you can go to Go Pulse, okay? Yeah, we got some green on the day. All right. So what you can do is if you add up the, remember, exclude the origin address. So remove it. You push this button here. If you add up the market caps of everything, okay? So this is just PHEX, by the way. So if you add up this, it's like 1.7. The total ecosystem is 2 billion for the PulseChain core coins, including PHEX and EHEX, okay? So it's 2 billion. So my off the cuff thing, I'm hoping that, remember, the ratios will change. So I'm just throwing it out here. It could be that we hit around 100 to 200 billion at the top. Okay, 100 to 200 billion at the top, which is about 50 to 100x from today. Okay, 50 to 100x from today. So this would be the full 100x. PulseChain would actually hit consensus 35x SAC price. And then half of that would be around 50x would be around here, about 15 seconds. So this is, I'm just drawing a box, okay? I'm just drawing a box, just total guessing. And I know this doesn't look like much, by the way, but I'm just going to show you something, all right? On a linear chart, this is what the linear chart would look like. Linear. That's what it'll look like. 100, that's 100 to 200 billion market cap, I guess, for the whole ecosystem. That's what I'm just looking at PulseChain price as well, okay? So here's another thing as well. Hex did its final 10x, right, at the very, very, very end. When the PulseChain sacrifice happened and Richard thought it was over. And what I'll do now, I'll show you that chart. So Hex ran up and it hit, here we go, 5 cents up here. See, this is May 2021. So Richard thought it was over pretty much because he believed the cycle was over. Bitcoin and Ethereum had topped out, and then it did another 10x in the next 3 to 4 months. Okay, I'm wondering if that happens again, where if, let's say, the whole PulseChain ecosystem, let's 50 to 100x, let's just say 100x. Like, I hope it does 100x. right, from today. So that would mean the first 10x happens between now and until when Richard thinks it's over. Maybe if Bitcoin just runs to December this year. Where would 10x put us? Around 3x, 3.5x stack price. That's the first 10x. And then maybe everyone thinks it's over, but we do a bull flag and we do the next 10x from this point. That would bring us to around like here. Around up to there, okay? Bang. All right? So I'm actually going to show you. I know it looks like it on a log chart. This is what it looks like on a linear. See that? So you come up. This is where equivalent where Hex hit 5 cents in May 2021, right after evil China killed our bull market right here. I'm just joking, friends. It was part of the business cycle. We're going to get wrecked anyway, you know? So that would be the first one. And then this would be Hex going the 5 cent to the 50 cent zone. Bang, 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 like this. That would be this equivalent. So I'm just guessing, okay? Because it's the same founder, similar mechanics. We raise money in ETH. That's what I'm just hoping happens. Now, the thing is something quirky with that. In that first 10x part from now to December is what I hope that pDAI, I know it's wild, man. pDAI is $1 in that first move. So if pDAI, I know it's wild, man, but if pDAI can get to $1, this is the tip here, up arrow, but I have to get up here, all right? So if pDAI can get to $1 I guess by the end of the year, all right, somehow get to $1, once it gets here, the next phase begins, where now we have the massive blow-off in the PulseChain cores, and that might be that final 10x, and that's when like everything in the crypto stalled, okay? Because Hex ran up after Richard thought the top was in, okay? So the top wasn't actually in for Bitcoin. It came in and ticked it up by 1 day, right by the end of the year. But Richard thought the top was in May 2021. That's more important, yeah? So that's me just guessing, just hypothesizing. Well, if it kind of repeats like last time, that's what we might get, where we run up, everything's good. But you got to remember as well, if everything runs up 10x, friends, and pDAI's run up 20x, I'm just going to have a look at the pDAI pulse ratio would be out of this world. Okay, I'll just show you this. It would be literally out of this world. And know what I'll do now? I'll show you the pDAI pulse ratio. It's at 172. So it would rise a 20x. So it would go to a value of 3,500. That's actually funny. I've got the word peg here. Need peg. So 3,500. If it was to do that. So it would be something like that. That's a peg right there. 3,500. Okay. And yeah, I mean, like you look at it, it looks like it's getting there. I really hope it does. That'd be wild. Now, why is that important? Well, it's because why is that important? Why does that make sense? Here's the thing, man. I know, I'll be honest. I know people don't like hearing this. I don't care. I'm willing to wait 5 years for this because you don't get this stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's like you're getting the returns anyway, right? If it works out, I'm willing to wait 5 years. But let's say this thing about crypto. I know we're not here to get rich quick, even though we all are. But we know we got to wait. But the thing is, like, you can't do this in 3-4 years. You know, this all has to happen in this cycle because all the money gets raised in a bull market year. And then everything after that point is poop. You can't do anything after that point. So it all has to basically happen on this run up. And you never know. Maybe Richard will be so kind as to do a public ICO raise after PulseChain has run that 100x. And let's pump it. So if that happens, it'll make all the sense in the world, right? But it's kind of scary just to think, wait a minute, are we really going to run up this much in the next few months? We'll see. And what if there's a PSYOPs part as well? I'm still prepared for the PSYOPs part. You might ask me, hey, what about the PSYOPs part? I'll show you now. This is me with my imaginary nines, but you know, what if everyone thinks we I'm going to use the yellow line here. What if, you know, everyone thinks we're going to peg by the end of the year, but we stop at 10 cents and then we have the fake stablecoin FUD, the decoy FUD. Some Richard Hart comes out and Liberty Swap gets revealed as another Vietnamese kid. Maybe Liberty Swap was the Vietnamese kid all along. And then he goes, ha ha ha, it's not pDAI, it's another stablecoin called Fartcoin, FartDAI. right? And that gets all the KOLs who buy in from PulseChain, and then they jeet down the bottom, call for me to go to jail again. Hopefully we are we're staying long and strong, and then we continue up. And then this thing happens next year. I don't know. I throw this stuff out there just so like we're mentally prepared, okay? Because with stuff like this, man, if not everything goes to plan, and you don't want to skid yourself out. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting, I guess, to see what plays out next. Soylana, friends, has continued to slide on its SOL ETH ratio as the entire crypto industry enters a state of cope. So now I'm just going to quickly show you the Soy ETH ratio, friends, continuing to slide against Ethereum. Look at this. It's actually at the bottom of the circle. Oh my gosh. Friends, do you remember I did this? It was at the top of the circle here, and now it's come all the way back down only. I want to remind you as well, in the past 5 months, nothing has changed with Ethereum. Nothing has changed in the past 100 days, and Ethereum went up only. Literally nothing. Upgrade speed, dog shit, nothing. Nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. What changed though? We transferred Ethereum from weak hands into strong hands. That's it. Price changed. That's all that changed. Technology is still the same. Soylana still has a JPEG casino. That all those scum copy traders on the rankings, everybody's losing their money to this Cupsy guy and everyone else who has literally got an average hold time of 4 seconds, by the way, on their tokens. They just keep getting rinsed. Look, if you're in the Soylana vape cabal, you're one of the victims. I just want to tell you something. One, you're not a victim, dude. Okay, we can see you. You are very aroused sitting in that hotel cuck chair. You're sucking on their toe jams, sucking on their feet. You are defending them, but I also thank you because you give me so much CoinFessions Rect content. I love it. It's so entertaining for me to do that. I mean, I hate seeing you like in pain, not knowing, like losing your mum's 3rd credit card or whatever. But you do this to yourself. You know what I mean? So like, I'm sure your dad didn't raise you. Like you didn't shoot out of your dad's nuts to come out into this world and be a cuck and be a little bitch like that. But you know what? If you want to sit there and you want to worship people while they stick their feet in your mouth, while you lose money, multiple credit cards, getting destroyed, buying the 17th squirrel coin on Soylana and wondering why it didn't work out. Okay, dude, like you have some lessons to learn, not just about crypto, but about life. But for the rest of us, I think it's very obvious. Copy trade scammers partnering with the LA Vape Cabal continue to dump tokens after 4 seconds of hold time. By the way, that's not a fake number, by the way. I might have to make a video on this later on, friends. Some of you might think that's an exaggeration. No, I'm going to show this to you. Look at this. Look at the hold time. This guy, he held the coin for 1 second. He dumped on everyone. Then the next coin, he held it for 4 seconds. He dumped on everyone. Then the next coin, he held for 5 seconds. He dumped on everyone. He's just doing that. So that's why when you're in the cabal and one guy's winning like that, it is what it is, man. You know, that's how society works. Like, friends, I look around, okay, and I reverse engineer stuff. I go, well, the government's got all this power. Not because we are mavericks and we like grow our own potatoes and we sharpen our own elbows. No, it's because 70% of the population is just straight cucks, straight blue pill cucks. That's why the government has power like that. You know, so it makes sense when you say that. I wasn't joking. I know you're probably thinking, wait, 4 seconds hold time. No, surely 4 hours, 4 minutes. Nope, 4 seconds. So continuing, right? Everyone, they're in the hotel cuck chair, watching the entire industry mean revert back, but they're not going to make it, right? So look, bro, here's the thing, man. I don't care what the story is. I've told you 1,000 times, okay? Sad day for you. You listen to all the mainstream KOLs who kept sucking off Soylana. I don't care what the chain does, bro. It could have been Ethereum, by the way. Anything that runs up for 6 months becomes dangerous. Soy ran up for 2 years. Specifically 1.75 years. But literally, after 6 months, it should have the danger sign. And I was actually talking about it 6 months. But it kept going and going and going and going and holding there and holding there. Well, okay, but sad day for you now. Like, if there's a rotation into anything meaningful, you've missed out on everything. But, you know, this is the thing, Vince. These people, someone's going to have to buy our top. You know? The Altseason Index is at 51 out of 100 already. Now, as you know, I don't really like this index at all because it's like it's Fugazi, but this is the index. Pretty much, oh, you're halfway to Altseason. Altseason's here. Look how short it lasts, by the way. This index, friends, why it's garbage is they take the top 100 coins rankings. If one coin has beaten Bitcoin by 1%, so if Bitcoin's up 1%, if your coin's up 2%, they go, oh, you're in Altseason, you're in profit, you should take profit. That's what it is. So it's just It's built to be a sine wave, whatever, but it doesn't show you the full BTC ratio charts. For that, we want to see OTHERS-BTC, okay? So if I show you again, OTHERS-BTC is the key. That's why I always have it here, okay? This is the OTHERS-BTC chart. I want to get nervous. Right now, altcoins are only 13% of Bitcoin size. We have Donald Trump, we have crime season and everything out here. I want to be nervous when this thing gets to, say, 45%, 50%. I'll be nervous. This is like the first retrace, okay? And I hope it comes up here, comes back down, bulls flag, and then we come up here. This will be but you got to get basically everything out around there. And when I say everything, I don't mean everything, but like you just would have come a long way by that point. And by the way, if you're curious as well, from today, so your portfolio today, from here, I guess to the top of the box here, that's about a 4.2x return on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does 2x from here, you do 4.2 times 2, that's an 8.4x on all the altcoins. Now here's the thing, that's all the altcoins in the index, in the others, outside the top 10. Okay, so there's going to be ones, obviously everything deviates differently, right? Like for example, PulseChain did 2 times that multiplier last year on the way up. So PulseChain, if it repeat that same multiplier, will do 2 times that. So PulseChain PLS will do a 16x from today, which is still garbage, but you know what I mean, compared to where it's basically back to break even. Actually, let me just show you where would 16x be. Remember, friends, this is not 100% formula. A 16x actually would take you here, 5x stack price. But yeah, I'm just giving you a rough crude measure. Hopefully, we're in the altcoins that accelerate above it. The UK Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, may sell over £5 billion in seized Bitcoin to plug the budget gap. So, let me know, would you plug her budget hole with your Bitcoin? Of course. Depends, friends, depends. Some dudes are into that short hair stuff, you know what I mean? She's crazy. She goes to those underground ones, you know what I mean? She's probably in an open relationship as well. Don't know why you do that to yourself, but this is the best part, okay? Because Germany basically wrecked themselves, and was it Bulgaria? Bulgaria also wrecked themselves. Bulgaria sold 216,000 Bitcoin at the bottom of 2018. Funny, I was buying off Bulgaria, I found out. So Bulgaria could have paid up their whole debt. Yeah, if they held the Bitcoin today. All of the debt. Imagine all the countries' debt could have been paid off, but the politicians fumbled the bag. That's why, man, crypto's going to take over, friends. We're going to get all these governments to come in and buy, and then they're all going to get wrecked. Good. Michael Saylor has teased another BTC buy. He said, stay humble, stack sats. So whenever you see these posts, he's about to make a purchase update. He's probably going to make a purchase announcement. His average price is 71,300. It's going to accelerate. Another thing to watch for, maybe that hits 100K. You know, maybe just hits a nice round 100K. And that'll be something just to think about, and it starts accelerating at the end. The Bitcoin treasury bubble does continue. Blockchain, look, this Treasury Secretary Percent, this is his quote. Blockchain technologies will power the next generation of payments, and the US dollar is coming on chain. So I've also got another quote from him. He said that the Genius Act is historic and will pave the way for the US to lead the global digital currency revolution. So in other words, StableCoin SuperCycle, okay, therefore they have created a product market fit for a ping pong currency coin, which might ping and pong between 99 cents and $1.01. It might ping and pong between that. No financial advice, I don't know. But because they are making it illegal for everybody else to hand out yield, then, man, I can't tell you, friends, if this works out. Richard, dude, like, man, I'm just telling you, man, just people don't. I know a lot of PulseChain core coin maxis, you don't see it yet. You know what I mean? I know when you'll see it. pDAI 3 cents. Maybe 10% of yous will see it. pDAI 10 cents, I reckon almost 50% will see it. Yeah. So everyone will see it as the price goes up. You'll actually see it. What I mean? Not you'll see the price going up, but you'll see a man who used to live on top of a sandwich shop thinking about this idea 4 years ago. All right, here he is, world's largest airdrop, thinking about it. Stablecoins are the biggest crypto narrative in today, okay? So I'm telling you, if it works out, I don't think we'll ever get that again, man. There's no way. Because you got to think about, friends, what are the odds that anybody who has, firstly, to be able to see something 4 years in advance, you're a rare human in the industry. Rare. Out of 100 millions of us, there's only like what? Between 10 and 30 founders who could even see the idea, okay? They could even see it in the first place. They could see it. Now, they have to be motivated to make a token around it. Now you cut off more people. And then, think the low probability of someone who gives the power to the people. Like Richard Fart has. What do most people do? They make a layer 2 token for Ethereum. They give all the tokens to themselves. They go, oh, let's do a community airdrop where you got to spend 15 hours on a Jeep farm to get $6 of a scratchy lottery ticket airdrop. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how this is so rare? And then you don't have insiders. Or maybe there's like groups of people, but like you don't have like this mass team of just people who are just in from like early because they all told the plan completely. You don't have that, man. I'm just telling you, this is literally unicorn. As I say, first cycle unicorn. Never seen anything like this before. Could go to zero for the third time though. Ethereum now ranks 28th in the global asset value with 460 billion market cap. It has surpassed Vanguard, not to be confused with Van Attack. And now they have to take on Sexon. And who else is next? Masterflop. So Sexon Mobile obviously digs oil out of the ground. Why do that? We already have the equations for 0 point energy. It's just how the world works, you know what I mean? And then we have Masterflop as well. Now, Masterflop, they have pivoted friends. They're making like an Ethereum layer 2 chain and stuff out here. I think they're pretty much going in Ethereum. Like they know that their days are numbered. Their days are totally numbered. They can't compete with this because all they have is merchant transactions, and it's slow and it's poop and there's a massive fee. But yeah, it's just they know it's game over. So here comes Charmley with Ethereum. The White House, not to be confused with the Black House, is going to release its first crypto policy this week on July 22nd with the executive order. So that'll be good, right? Just talk about it. That's all we need them to do, friends. You don't need them to do much. Just say the words crypto. Just talk about it. Say it's good. Say it's the future. Talk about stablecoins. Also, Google searches for stablecoins have been literally going through the roof. So why? It's because retailers, right? Normies, all they have access to is stocks. So now they're researching stablecoins. So the first thing they're going to do is, well, their Coinbase is going up and Circle's stock is going up, but they want more exposure to crypto. So I'm telling you, man, once again, StableCoin SuperCycle. The trend of stablecoins is going up higher than Bitcoin and crypto searches. Oh, man, that's why I'm not going to pause my passion for a first cycle unicorn playing out in real time every single day just because someone is like too much of a bitch to put $1 into a lottery ticket and they just want to cover something else. No, bro, go watch all the other copy trader scammers in the LA vape cabal, okay? You know, go watch them, okay? Go get Listerine for your mouth because you've been sucking on their feet all day, and go watch them talk about their 28th meme coin for the week where they end up on all the mainstream KOL shows and say, this thing's the future, it's so great, and then you don't hear about it literally 6 hours later. Go do that, dude. That's not for me. I didn't care about that. Try believing in something. Elon Musk has said he has resisted AI for too long, living in denial. Now, it's game on. So, I guess we'll see what happens, friends. We've got some robot skits in out. I've got videos for you coming out. There's literally a robot that's gone skits. AI is coming in. Hopefully, they do release something really like big, which puts us into a mania. Major loser Jerome Powell is not denying the reports that he's considering resigning. Federal Housing Director Pulte says. So, let me give you some news flash, okay? Because there's a couple of cowards who are comfortable in their hotel cuck chair taking the blue pill. I know you can't handle the truth, but I'll just give you a snippet, okay? Major loser Jerome Powell is a puppet. He is not the controller of anything, okay? He is a puppet. He is the person they put at the front to face the people. Yes, there are around 150 to 200 people. They are actually above him. You don't know their names. You don't know their faces. I don't even know if they age. And that's by design, okay? And they are outside the law. Go look up the Bank of International Settlements. Go try audit the Bank of International Settlements. You can't. Because they made their own country and they made their own law. They get no audits. Lawyers can't take them to jail. They can't do anything. They have their own island in the world. I don't know what they do there. That's how the world really works, okay? So, if the people, you and me, are calling major loser Jerome Powell a major loser and we don't like him, they will install somebody else. Okay? That's what they do. Their number one job is to keep the people from revolting so they have power. If that means they have to get rid of one dude, they will. And he will listen because they gave him the power in the first place. He doesn't even have really power. He just comes out and just stands in front of people, okay? There you go. And I've only literally just touched the tip there. Just a tip. That's what she said. President Trump has called major loser Jerome Powell the worst Federal Reserve chairman in history. I wonder if that's going to play out, huh? So, look, if he replaces it with Secretary Bessent, I mean, like, actually just get leveraged long on your positions at that point. At that point. So, where to from here, friends? Well, BTC, I know we have a red candle for BTC, but the show stealer has been meth. The show stealer has been meth. We all love meth. Meth is great. Have it with breakfast. Have it with dinner. Here is meth charging back to its highs. It's kind of crazy, man, to see. Look at this, friends. Literally straight up. This is the meth chart. Comes right back into this resistance. This is back Richard Hart's break-even price. I've got the line here for the treasury. So if I was to guess, we have some sort of like little tiny bull flag thing and we're ready to go. Because here's the thing, man. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've 6 times we've rejected. Now we're here for the 7th time. How much? Like it shouldn't do much before we finally ready to go. And then what's the big target? Well, the first Fibonacci for ETH is 7,300. You know, we can talk about the higher levels when we get to 7,300. And until that moment, keep holding, keep believing, like, subscribe, Billy Button, or catch you soon.